We go ahead and look at our, let's go ahead and look at our Chapter 5 vocabulary. The title of Chapter 5 is Cleaning Up the Backyard. Cleaning up the backyard. Okay, so do any of you have a backyard?
Yes.
How many of you have a backyard? Let me see. Okay. Do you have a pool in the backyard?
No.
Do you have a garden in the backyard?
Yes.
Oh, very nice. Okay. All right. So when you have a garden, you have a mother-in-law apartment in the backyard? You have a dog house in the backyard? A chicken coop? A chicken coop?
Compass.
Oh, what is it?
Compass.
A compost. Compost heap. Yeah, compost pile. All right. Do any of you like to garden? You like to work in the garden? Raise your hand if you like to work in the garden. Okay, a few of you like to work in the garden. Okay, how many of you like the garden but you don't like to work in the garden? Oh, yes, everybody loves the garden. Because it takes a lot of time to take care of it, right? You have, if you're going to plant the garden, you have to make everything grow. How are you going to do that? You have to, what do you have to do to make them grow and not just wither and die? You have to water them. You water the plants. You have to fertilize the plants. What else?
Weeds.
Oh, you need to pull the weeds. Right, you have to weed. You have to weed the garden, right?
Fertilize.
You have to water first.
Yeah, we talked about it. We said that already. You missed that. Okay, I'll say it again. Water. We have to water it.
Water.
We also have to fertilize. We have to pull the weeds. Right. So we can say pull the weeds because weeds is a noun. We can also use weed as a verb. So we can weed the garden. Weed can be both a noun and a verb.
Weeding.
Okay, what else do we have to do?
Fertilize.
We said that one already. We have to cut the branches. Okay.
Prune.
The dead branches, not the died branches, the dead branches. Okay, listen to this word because a lot of people get this mixed up. Died and dead. Which one is an adjective? Dead. Dead. I'm dead. When did you die? I died just a minute ago. Okay, died is a verb. Died is a verb. To die, and then add D, past tense, died. Okay, so if we say, my grandfather is died or dead?
Dead.
Dead. Right. My grandfather is dead. He died many, many years ago. That's the verb. Okay. So the branches, we say the dead branches. You want to cut off the dead branches. Okay. What else do we have to do? What is something, you know the word that is like cutting, but it's not so many. Oh, prune, trim. Okay. Prune. So when you prune the roses or you prune the tree, it's a kind of cutting, but it's not just whack, 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 you know? It's a small cutting, and you also do it with purpose. You cut it a certain way in order for more branches to grow or for them to train them this way or that way. Okay, so when you prune your trees or your flowers, then you take care which ones you're cutting and what direction the next branch will come out. You can always also use the word trim, to trim, which means to cut something short, like your hair. You can have a haircut or trim your hair or cut your hair. So cut is very general. Cut is a very general word, and there are many kinds of cutting. So trim means just a short one, a little bit. Okay, so all of those things you need to do. What happens when the weather, when autumn or fall comes? What happens to all the leaves?
Raking.
What happens to all the leaves?
Falling down.
The leaves fall. That's why it's so easy to remember the season of fall, right? And what happens when the leaves fall?
Need a rake.
You need to...
Rake.
Yeah, you need to rake them up. Okay, I guess you're the noisy guy. You like to blow them, right? That's what I hear next door. My neighbor does that. I'm not my neighbor. He hires the gardener, and they make so much noise. And I'm thinking, why can't you just get a rake? You know, it's not so noisy.
Because they're lazy.
Is that what you use? Yeah, that's what you use. You use a lazy man's tool. Yours requires what? Electricity or gasoline or what?
Gasoline.
Gasoline? Yeah.
Only Palo Alto requires electricity.
Don't come to Sunnyvale then. So Palo Alto doesn't allow the gasoline.
Yeah.
But you can do it in the other cities?
Yeah.
I see. What about the decibel level? How loud it is. Do they have any ordinance about the number?
I don't know.
You don't know?
They don't know because they put a earplug.
Okay, yeah, they put their earplugs in and they don't hear it so badly, right? Yeah. Okay, all right, let's go back the old-fashioned way And we'll just rake the leaves up. Right, okay. So all of those things, taking off the dead branches, in even just the dead parts of the flowers. You know when the flowers wilt? You know the word wilt? So the flowers are standing up really bright and pretty, and then they're, you know, maybe after maybe some days or some weeks, then and they're wilted. So then those turn brown, right? And so if you're taking care of your garden, you can also pick those off and throw those away. So all of those things. And when things get too tall, you have to trim them back. Yeah. So those are different things that you have to do to clean up your backyard. So you just like the result, I see, many of you. You like the beautiful result of the garden. If you don't like to garden yourself, then hire a gardener. Or have a lot of children and ask them to help. I'm very lucky. My mother-in-law loves to work in our garden. So I designed it, but she takes care of it. Yes, I enjoy it. I say, oh, those look nice. Plant more of these. So what she loves to do is grow everything that you can eat. So yeah. So, but I said, no, you can't grow the whole thing. The whole thing is not going to be a farm. We have some flowers, and we have some vegetables. We have some fruit trees. But every once in a while, when I'm not looking, she sees some brown dirt, and she plants something there. And I say, you shouldn't plant it there because this tree won't have enough space to grow. And she says, oh, but I need a place to plant my onions. So that sometimes happens. All right, let's go to our vocabulary. No, let's look at a sound focus preview. So we're going to be working on word stress and intonation, which is something we always want to work on, word stress and intonation. And we're going to work on the sound t as in time, t as in time, and the d as in do. So t, time, is voiceless, and do is voiced. And it lends itself to listening to and practicing the past tense endings. What does a regular past tense ending look like in English in writing? Ed. Ed. Okay, in speaking, we don't have just ed. We have t, d, and id. Oh, just like what? Just like s, z, and is, right? So the spelling and the pronunciation, different, right? Okay, so we have to pay attention